Thanks everybody for joining this call. Today I want to go into how to use WPGateWay. So many of you guys have started or signed up for WPGateWay and need a little bit more training how to install a theme, how to transfer a site, how to order a domain, those kind of basic things. So everything has been made very easy. So I'm logged in. I don't know, I'm still logged in because, okay. So let's start with the simple things. You go to server and settings. And those settings, they will be used for every install. So it's easy to have them in one place. So you can, it is not mandatory to install local theme jack with WPGateWay. But if you don't have local theme jack, you can still use it very well. So I created for this training a license, and let's say support Hopman.com, and username is web demo jack, and then number 123 and demo number 456. I just make a password up. I just have to remember it when I need it. So filling out the basic information makes it so much easier for when you do an install. Okay, and you can do this default WordPress title, selecting time zone. So I'm -5, and then you can say I want a response manager by phone, by email, or both, you know. So I will come back to that. So this has been successfully updated. Okay, so let me do ordering domain. So you see everything from A to Z. You go to server and you order a domain. You choose order new domain and webinar. I just make something up. Webinar demo 5, I don't know, .com. Webinar Jack, I think I had. Webinar Jack 5.com. So do a search, see if that exists. That domain is actually available. And now I click on order on domain. And are you sure you want to register domain? So now it orders domain via WPGateWay, all by itself, and points the domain to the Amazon high-speed server. So there's no work involved for you. So let's wait that it follows the process. So you said your domain has been registered successfully. It will take some time to activate. We will notify you once it's active. You guys see this? So once it is active, what you will see in the cPanel overview, that webinar, that a cPanel gets created. So while we're doing this training, you will see, I hope a little bit at the end, that the cPanel and everything is created and we can do an install on it. So that is how you start doing everything, starting with a domain. So next step, I want to show you the domain overview. So the domain overview is every domain what is listed here get managed. You will have cPanel, can get cPanel info here. You know when it is created, you know the login information, you know the admin users, you know which plugins are on a theme, and see if that website is active in the past. You can also select it here from. So let me go to install and install a new theme. Let's say I want to install something on Webinar Jack 3 today. Okay, it searches on that cPanel for the domain, and then say you can do it on a subdirectory. So if I do directory, you see how the domain structure works, but just do on the main domain. So let's do a local theme Jack. Then you see, you guys recognize this. Every field is pre-filled now because it was entered in settings. And do the digital marketing today. So now I only did. Do you guys see how simple it is now from this point? Let me do it again because I want you to show you how simple it is. I go to install. I select the cPanel. I select the domain on that cPanel. I can choose to install on a subdomain or on directory, but let's do it on the main domain. Every field is pre-filled. I select the digital marketing and I click on install theme. So now you see connect to cPanel success, connect with baseband selected area. Everything is now done for you. So you can just wait that this website get installed on this domain. So everybody see this power, how super simple it is? So there's zero technical skills required. Everything is done for you. And if you have filled out the settings and if you have entered the cPanel login, it's all, it's just point and click. You see how fast it is? So now if I click on this, let me copy this paste so I have that info. So if you click on this, you see now the digital marketing theme is installed. Wow. See how fast it is? I don't need to do a lot of things. Create cPanel all the time. Everything is done for you. So if you go to the back end and log in with that information, what is connected with this WordPress install, you go to log in, enter the username and password, and then when you go to plugins, you see automatically the WPGateWay plugin has been installed. See that? So that connects this website with WPGateWay. Now if you say I want to add a new plugin, let's say SEO plugin, and now let me do Yoast. That's a pretty good one. Search for that, and then where is Yoast SEO plugin? Is that gone? Oh, they changed the image. Activate plugin. Close. So if you go to, you see now Yoast SEO is installed on this website. If I go to the domain overview, you see there's a new website installed, Webinar Jack 3. And if I go to the plugins, you will see that Yoast is connected. And if that plugin was out of date, they need an update, you can update it here. And you can see what the login information is. You see the username and password. And now I'm going to see what is new. You see, this is the user, but now you can add. Now first I want to show you, is that user allowed to see all the local team Jack settings? If he's not, you uncheck that. So if you want to hand over that website to a client, and he is allowed to see the backend, but not that it is on local team Jack side, and the freak is asked question and the license info, you just uncheck that. So if you go to add user, let's say Jack client, last name business, then email, let's make it up, client@gmail.com, and then I can choose a username and the password. Okay, and I click on submit. Now if I go to users, you will see that there's a new client. You see that? So that client is now added. And you can select yes or no if he is allowed to see the local team Jack settings. So you can add users from WPGateWay on your WordPress sites. So if you have your own host and you want to manage those domains, you click on plus domain. Everybody see this? You go on the domain and you want to manage a new domain. You click on plus domain. And then it is just a matter of, you follow the screen. So you add a new cPanel, or you just select for a new one, for an existing one, select the domain. So now it's almost the same as it used to be. And then you can either do the non-WordPress directory, but most is WordPress directory, and you click on create domain, and that actually what it does, it creates a backup, and from that point it also gets managed in the domain overview. So that is how easy it is to add an existing website with your cPanel to WPGateWay. And from that point it gets managed. From that point you can update the plugins very easy. From that point the backups get created. Okay, so if you have a problem with adding your cPanel info, just send it to support and we will work with you for that. So now that domain is added. It has user information, and the plugins. I don't know which plugins there are installed on this team. None at the moment. The team is also up to date. Everybody understand how to add an existing website to WPGateWay. And from this point, I wanted to make you clear that the backup gets created automatically every week, and the backups get saved for 3 weeks. And you can also say, let me save that backup forever. So if you go to backup and say, so this is 22nd July, it's not that old. But if you say now, I want to save that backup forever, don't want to get it overwritten by new ones, you just select save. And from this point, if you have, let's say I'm happy with this website, if it gets hacked or whatever, I want to have a restore point, you just can save it and then restore it. Okay? Any questions about what I demoed? Can you show a non-team jack being added to WPGateWay? There is no difference. I didn't say here in a domain, if I do add domain, I didn't say anything about local team jack. There's nothing related to the local team jack. When I do a domain plus domain, I only ask for the cPanel and which domain. I didn't specify that it needs to be in local team jack. You get that? Okay. When you do an install, you select the cPanel or you add the new one. Okay. Select the domains. Now you can subdomain. Now you have three options. I want to install a local team jack site. I want to install a standard WordPress site, or I want to clone this website to a new one, to the customer one. So assume you have a nice website on your server, but it's more or less your default, your model website, or you prepared it for a client, but the client was not ready to put it on his domain. You can have this prepared on this domain, and then you say clone this to my client server. You got it? So for install, you have three options: local team jack sites, standard WordPress site, or clone. If you go to domain and you want to manage a domain, you click on plus domain, you select the cPanel, select the domains on that cPanel, and you select if that domain is a subdomain directory, and you click on create backup. Everybody got this? So do we have to have an HTML page or convert it to WordPress? So if you want to have it managed, you want to have it in a WordPress site. Okay? So the last, not the last step, one step more is point a domain. You see this? I showed you how to order a domain. The second option is point your domain. Let's assume you bought your domain somewhere else and you have not installed a website on it. So you want to click on order domain, you want to say what the domain is, and you click on continue. Okay, so let's say web demo jack not let's say 6.com. Okay. Okay, and then it's confirmation. So it's setting up in the queue, and what it does, I don't know. Okay, so he said, have you already purchased this domain? Okay, and if you have, go to that domain and change the NS from that domain. Once the NS is pointing to our high-speed Amazon server, it will create the cPanel. You guys following me in this? Assume you have bought a domain on an other domain registry than WordPress Gateway. You want to tell WP Gateway that domain exists. Okay? Then you set point your domain from WP Gateway. Now WP Gateway is expecting that domain. So you go to your domain register and you change the NS to WPGatewayServer.com and NS to WPGatewayServer.com. Once WP Gateway recognizes this domain exists, it will create the cPanel. So if you go to help, Freakers ask question, link existing domain to WP Gate server, you see also those two values, WPGatewayServer.com. Okay, so everybody understand, if I have a domain name at another register, how to point it to WP Gateway and let WP Gateway know that it exists and can expect. If I move all my hosting website over to your service, how much will it cost? How many websites can be hosted on one account? 100 websites only for $97. It's less than $1 per website. It's really cheap. There's nothing more affordable and better than the Amazon high-speed server. Okay, so now the last step, you see it, server, transfer a website. So we spoke about order domain. That's pretty straightforward. Everything is within WP Gateway. Second step is you bought your domain at another register, but there's no website on it yet. Third step is transfer an existing website. So you select that. You do the same. Webinar jack7.com. But this needs to be an existing domain, because now this is asking for the cPanel. And it creates, let me explain this. I don't think nobody does it. So it will create a clone of your existing website on the Amazon server. And you can say, hey, I like this clone or I don't like this clone. But you know, you can see if everything goes well. And you just confirm it, that you say, hey, I like this clone. And once you say, I like this clone, you go to your domain register and point it to the WP Gateway, because at this point, when you finish this step process, it's expecting at a certain point that that domain is pointing to WP Gateway. And once it's pointed, it will automatically clone that, or transfer that cloned website to the final domain. I'm not sure, did I explain this well? Okay, let's say you have domain A. Okay, domain A. During that transfer process, WP Gateway will clone that website. Let's call that domain B. You can view that website as everything goes well. And if you say, hey, I like domain B, everything goes well, you go back to your domain register and point it to the WP Gateway server. And once WP Gateway server recognizes that the domain A is pointing, it will clone back domain B to domain A. And everything is done for you. You don't need to download that file and upload. Everything is done for you. Creating the cPanel Everybody follow that? It's kind of new, that process, but I figured out that is the easiest way to do. There's one thing where you have to pay attention to. That is emails. Emails creation on your existing website. So WP Gateway also clones the emails. But since it does not recognize or cannot read the passwords of those emails, you have to know those passwords. You follow me? So you go to your old account and you figure out this email has that password. And once that email is cloned, you want to go log in a new cPanel account and update to the same password. Or the password will be the same as the cPanel password. You go to your domain email client and you update the email password same as the cPanel password. Everybody follow that? That's quite a bit of step, correct? So the only thing that I wanted to say is, besides cloning a website, you need to pay attention on the emails on that account. Okay? So don't forget that step. What we did is we cloned the emails, so at least those emails exist. You didn't forget to move the emails. The password is changed because we couldn't read the password from the old account. But you know the new password, same as the new cPanel password. So if you have an email client, you say, hey client, I know your email changed, change it, update the password, and it will work fine. So that's a good method, I think. Okay, any questions so far? We are half our way, and you almost do not need to know more because everything is point and click. It is so easy. Yeah, we are working on a special WP secure plugin what will get managed and installed by WP Gateway. So that besides WP Gateway update plugin, it will have a secure plugin. Okay? Is the only way to make changes is by going to WP admin. At this point, you can, if you say, hey, this it's not on this case, but it will. If this plugin was out of date, you will see here a red button. You see this? It's a red button, and you can click on it and say update this plugin. If there's also an option, if there's multiple plugins installed, say update all plugins for this domain. Or the third option is, I have installed Yoast, this plugin, on several domains. I want that this plugin get updated for all domains. You don't need any other management tool. So this is the same for the theme. It will show if the theme is out of date and you can update it via WP Gateway. That is kind of a big advantage. How many domains do you have? 10, 20, 30? Tell me if you have more than 10 domains. Everybody, I think, correct? If you're an internet marketer, you have more than 20. 105. Wow. So 70. Wow. So you know very well if you have 70 of 105 and 36, you know very well how time consuming it is to keep those websites up to date, correct? So you want to have a system that it does for you. You want to know if that website is up to date. You want to get notified if there's something wrong. You see here by settings. You want to get notified with an email or a phone number if something is wrong with a website. You don't want to get a call from a client. You want to be in control. You want that all your websites get backed up. And you want something that you can restore easily. And if you really know about website management, you want to save a certain version. So if something goes wrong in the process, you always have a version which you can fall back on it. You can even restore it. You see, if you click on restore, it's going to ask which cPanel. Say something got messed up, that server or whatever, and you have a backup and you want to restore it to another cPanel, another server. You see this? You can easily restore this to any other server. If you have had a problem in the past with a website, you know where I'm speaking about. You know how difficult it is at the moment to get a restored site from the host. It takes you a day. Do you know how easy it is to lose a client? It doesn't take you more than an hour. And you got paid for management, but your service with all those fancy tools didn't put together what you were thinking. You forgot to have a backup weekly. You forgot to have a freezed version which you can install easily, restore easily. And the backup works for that cPanel. But oh my God, now I have to install it on another cPanel. That is what you need. You need to have your system in place to manage your websites for your client easily, but also on a trustworthy way, that you feel good that you get paid for those management, that you know that website is on a high speed, high-end server. If you know something about SEO, then you know that customer experience is extremely important. So if the website is slow on a baby's plan or whatever, it will never rank high. Okay? How do we make change to the content? You just log in. You see here the login here. You let me take this one. Actually, I was logged in here, correct? So if you go here, it's you make changes like any website. Only the plugins get managed. The theme version get managed. Can you automate backups with this system for your clients? Yes, it does. You have no option. I mean, every week it gets backed up for you. There's nothing that you have to enable. Okay? And the backup not only get replaced with the last backup, the backup actually gets saved for 3 weeks. So you will see here after 3 weeks, when you go to backup, you will see here 3 versions with a date. Okay, so if they say, hey, the last backup didn't go well, you can install or restore the previous version. And if you are really doing management, you want to say, hey, I know this version was good, so I want to save it. You can download the zip file and you can download the SQL. And so everybody see the power? I have not been able to download the SQL file. Okay, I will check that out. Just send me a support ticket with your domain. I will check it out. So this is just almost everything what you need to know. It's so super simple. I created this way that, okay, now I have a system in place to manage my website. I have a system in place that I feel comfortable to ask. You see this? How the business plan? I get the question all the time. So, do you think it is hard to get one client paying $97 per month for managing the website, to make sure that the website is safe, that they get backed up, that you get a notification when something goes wrong, that you offer hosting, that it is on a high-speed server, that the plugins are up to date, that the theme version is up to date? Do you think it is hard to find one client? How does it feel if that client pays for all your hosting? One client pays you for all your 99 other domains. And I hope you have seen how simple it is to manage everything. Everything gets almost automatic. So let me drop this. Any questions? So with that said, I thank you guys for your time. I think you have seen how easy, super easy it is to install and manage websites. It's on PDF with an installation of these instructions. This is coming. So I think more the screens are now frozen, so we can work a little bit on a PDF. On each page, would you do a 3-minute video of each subject? So what I will do is, you see here help tutorials, and there's also so I will add here help tutorials. Yeah, so I will here add some tutorials with the latest screens. But it's really, I don't think you will touch a manual. I really don't think. It's so click, click, click. It's nothing you have to remember. Okay? So almost everything get done for you. So with that said, any other questions? So guys, thank you for your attention on a Thursday afternoon. I will post a replay, and you can always PM me on Facebook if you need some more information, and send a support ticket to support@jackhopman.com or support@WPGateWay.com. And glad you guys like the training to manage your WordPress site, and it also does the hosting. Thank you so much.